Hi guys, that's a little tracker with the plow unit on there, and had a request to show how I did all the mounting on it. Pretty simple. I'll walk up here and try to get a real good shot of everything as I go. Go underneath here. Pretty much just welded a bar straight across on the subframe underneath under the core support. Some square stock. Kind of see it there. And also ran a piece back to the suspension mount to reinforce that so it doesn't roll off and snap. So there's the square stock here welded directly to it, and then the piece going back here. On the other side as well, there's another piece welded straight back to the suspension mount. Here's my jack handle that was cut in half. That serves as the rotation tube for the arm that slides inside of it. Is inside, and it just rotates and turns. And a little bit of a idea of what we got here. You can see the front view of it. You can see the tube here goes inside the tube I cut. And it fits in there pretty nice, pretty snug. And it's welded all the way across here, and then it's welded here, and most of the way across on the other side. As far as the arm itself, it's just run back, and it's just welded front and back right here. So that's the only point that's probably the weakest link right there. As far as taking all the stress, I've hit quite a few snowbanks pretty hard. We've been plowing with the 3 months. I've probably done about 80 driveways, and so far no problems. The only thing that we did have an issue with is the cable. Eventually frayed out with that weak little roller up here, and it just has a plastic bushing, and it wears out very quickly. So we're probably gonna customize our own bearing setup and make that a nice strong unit. Probably go down to the Home Depot and pick up the right size bearings and just fit them right inside there and weld it solid so it can roll. Other than that, the turret itself rotates on the main bolt here, and we did have some issues with the locking mechanism and the spring kicking back and bending both sides of the locking part of the turret, so we just took some angle, reinforced it back and forth here on both sides. So it is locked in position for now. Hopefully next year we'll have a powered ram that will run from about the middle of the arm here to this point over here, and that we'll have to be able to rotate, so we'll have to sync it with this pin over here. Hope you guys can see that. Other than that, I use a XRC 4.0. It's a 4,000 pound winch. I haven't had any trouble with it lifting the plow, even with a load on it. Come to the other side of the plow here. You can see that does the same thing on this side. The square stock and the tube, and it's all permanently installed. There's not a disconnect point yet. Here you can also see that piece of square stock coming back to the suspension point, and it's welded solid and reinforced. Other than that, we got the little whippets from the hardware store. They're a couple dollars each. Got the little D-bolt clamps that hold them on. Pretty simple. The blade itself is actually off a Craftsman mower. And what we did is we took the blade from another unit, and I got a metal cutting saw blade from my skill saw, and I cut it right down the middle and then bolted it on 4 bolts, and then put one more down on the lower part. So that extended out exactly where I wanted it with the right measurements. And I just bolted them in place. It's been a good little plow unit. I hope this explains everything for you. And if you have any questions, just drop me back. I'll try to make another video if you need to. As far as the wiring for the plow, all I did was ran it in through the engine compartment, and I did go through the firewall with the first switch, but I didn't like that one, so I took the ATV switch off and I used the manual hand stick, and then I just zip tied it right to the stick shift. So while I'm shifting, I can be running my plow up and down, and it's hot wired. Hear it running. That way I can shift and run my plow at the same time when I'm driving. Works pretty well. Alrighty guys, until next time. Conclude the video there. Oh, one more thing. We do have the clamp here that I'm using to redo the wire with. Every time it breaks, after it gets frayed enough, it just snaps off and we have to redo it. And it's usually doing it when we have a load on it, so it's keep an eye on it so it's not happening when we're on the highway. Other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching.